Research has linked certain characteristics of the child and caregiver, as well as features of the family environment, to child abuse and neglect. Vulnerability to child abuse, whether physical, sexual, or through neglect, depends in part of the child's age and sex. Young children are most at risk of physical abuse, whereas the highest rates of sexual abuse are found among children who have reached puberty or adolescence.
Nagsimula po ang grabing karanasan ko nung 12 taong gulang na po ako. Ipinasok po ako dito sa Macho Gay Bar. Doon din po siya nagtatrabaho. Pinagkakitaan niya po yung katawan ko. Umabot po ito hanggang 14 na taon po ako. Pumayag po ako sa sitwasyon na ganun kasi pinagbantaan niya po na papatayin niya po yung kapatid ko.
In most places, boys are the victims of beatings and physical punishment more often than girls, while girls are at higher risk of infanticide, sexual abuse, forced prostitution, and educational and nutritional neglect. Globally, more than 130 million children between the ages of 6 and 11 years old are not in school, 60% of whom are girls. Republic Act 7610, Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act. It is an act providing for stronger deterrence and special protection against child abuse, exploitation, and discrimination, providing penalties for its violation and for other purposes. It shall be the policy of the state to protect and rehabilitate children gravely threatened or endangered by circumstances which affect or will affect their survival and normal development and over which they have no control. But who are covered by these laws? Children. It refers to persons below 18 years of age or those over but are unable to fully take care of themselves or protect themselves from abuse, neglect, cruelty, exploitation, or discrimination because of physical or mental disability or condition. But what is a child abuse? It refers to the maltreatment, whether habitual or not, of the child, which includes any of the following: psychological and physical abuse, neglect, cruelty, sexual abuse, and emotional maltreatment. Any act, by deeds or words, which debases, degrades, or demeans the intrinsic worth and dignity of a child as a human being. Unreasonable deprivation of his basic needs for survival, such as food and shelter, or failure to immediately give medical treatment to an injured child, resulting in a serious impairment of his growth and development or in his permanent incapacity or death. Article 3 of Republic Act 7610 protects the child from prostitution and other sexual abuse. The law punished the following 5 categories of offenses: child prostitution and other sexual abuse, child trafficking and attempt at child trafficking, obscene publication and indecent shows, other acts of abuse, discrimination against children of indigenous cultural communities. Who are the persons liable for child prostitution? Those who engage in, facilitate, or promote child prostitution. Those who engage in sexual intercourse or lascivious conduct with the child, and those who derive profit or advantage therefrom. Persons liable for an attempt at child prostitution: those who, not being a relative, are found alone with the child, those who are actually receiving services at bath, massage parlors, and similar establishments. Sweetheart theory is not a defense. Sweetheart theory applies in acts of lasciviousness and rape, felonies committed against or without the consent of the victim. It operates on the theory that the act was consensual. It requires a proof that the accused and the victim were lovers and that she consented to the sexual relations. How to establish minority? On the issue of age of victim, it is enough that the victim testified on her age the time she was raped. In People v. Abulon, the Supreme Court established rules in determining minority of the victim. Number 1. The best evidence to prove the age of the offended is an original or certified true copy of the certificate of live birth of such party. In the absence of a certificate of live birth, similar authentic documents such as baptismal certificate and skull records which shows the date of the birth of the victim would suffice to prove the age. If the certificate of live birth or authentic document is shown to have been lost or destroyed or otherwise unavailable, the testimony, if clear and credible, of the victim's mother or a family member by affinity or consanguinity who is qualified to testify on matters respecting pedigree, such as the exact age or date of birth of offended, shall be sufficient under the following circumstances. If the victim is alleged to be below 3 years of age and what is sought to be proved is that she is less than 7 years old. If the victim is alleged to be below 7 years of age and what is sought to be proved is that she is less than 12 years old. If the victim is alleged to be below 12 years of age and what is sought to be proved is that she is less than 18 years old. In the absence of certificate of live birth, authentic document, or the testimony of the victim's mother or relatives concerning the victim's age, the complainant's testimony will suffice provided that it is expressly and clearly admitted by the accused. It is the prosecution that has the burden of proving the age of the offended party. The failure of the accused to object to the testimonial evidence regarding age shall not be taken against him.